Hey guys, welcome back. We had some friends over last night, rather late. It was such a beautiful evening here. For it to be the end of June, the weather was magnificent. So we spent all day cooking and then spent all night just hanging out in the garden, just enjoying each other. It was so refreshing. Our friends are honestly like our family. And so we had just really enjoyed that time. But I'm getting a late start to the morning. I have got to up pot tomatoes that are going to be going in our tunnel. I also need to order fall seeds and plant out some beans, rip up some squash. There's a lot of things that need to get done today. Thankfully it's overcast. It might actually rain later, which would be welcomed around here for sure. But I thought that I would just let you guys hang out with me while I do my chores. First, you get the coffee. All right. This behind me is where I somewhat keep my seeds, and it is like crazy messy. But yeah, I need to go through all these seeds, so I'll grab them and we'll take them outside. If anyone has a better way to organize seeds, I am certainly open to suggestions because this is exactly what mine look like. Oh my gosh, y'all, I could not make up my life.
She likes the cooler.
I came outside and I could not find Ivy. Let me show you why. Ivy June, what are you doing?
Just pulling her around in the cooler.
Do you like that?
Yeah, she likes it when I go fast and she keeps bumping her head on the cooler. She likes that.
Okay, well y'all enjoy.
Come on, June.
So what I'm doing right now is just going through all my seeds, trying to find all my bush bean varieties. When I pulled up the Brussels sprouts, we had empty space left at the end of beds, which would be great for just a few like bush bean varieties. So I've got this variety. I have some of these now. They're not a huge producer, but I really enjoy them. And then the Calaspo beans. These have done really well. I have got the Tongue of Fire that I'm going to be replanting. And then this is it's really good for freezing, which is really appealing to me. I haven't actually even grew any of these. I gave some of these to a friend. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just trying to figure out my seeds that I can just plug in there. I didn't realize, like, you always think you don't have enough seeds until you start going through your seeds and you're like, oh, maybe I have too many. So I think I'm just gonna do these 4 varieties. I don't really have a lot of bush bean varieties because I've never honestly planted a lot of bush bean varieties. Usually I just do the runner beans and I keep them on our trellis, which works really well. This was last year. I think I had 1 runner bean at the end of a bed. Now I've got that entire bed designated to bush beans, but I've got this space right here and some other spaces I'm gonna plug them in. And I don't know, I've just been really impressed with these, especially like they've not dealt with any type of pest, even just compared to my pole beans. So these are probably a game changer. These will probably end up in the Whispering Willow Farm garden from here on out. One of the good things about where we live is we have such a long growing season. So for me, even when I rip out my runner beans, like once they're just had all they can like have, I'll rip them out and I'll just re-sow them again, which is a huge benefit of living in Arkansas. Same with my bush beans. Like I know some people probably can't be growing beans anymore, but for me, I'm still completely okay. They'll pop up soon and they'll be producing before it's ever even a problem. I don't typically label mine. What I'm doing is just taking each of them and putting variety in my hands, and then I'll sow them that way. For me, I know I'm not gonna sell these, so I'm not really concerned. I just want these for my family to, 1, save the seeds from, and then 2, just to can. I haven't actually even canned anything this year. I know I will, but I've been selling most of my beans, and so I know Nathan and I had that conversation like, okay, maybe let's take a week off of selling just so that we can sow them for our family and be able to put up for us. And that's one of the things that's kind of hard to balance, is when do you know, okay, I'm gonna take a week off of selling and just make sure that my family gets enough to last us throughout the summer and into the fall and winter. So I think it'll be really, really beneficial for us whenever we emphasize on the market garden, because then I can know, okay, I'm gonna sell that stuff. Everything in the backyard garden I'm gonna keep for us. I think it'll make it easier on me. And honestly, I just think it'll be more fun because I can grow all the fun things for me that people are too scared to buy. So I think this is gonna be, I think it's gonna be fun when we start to transition. Also, look how pretty! Hopefully with the rain shower today, I don't even have to water those in. They'll just pop up on their own. That's always the beauty of it too. I plant seeds and I forget. Oh, you plant the seed, then you have to water the seed. So you guys can see, I think the storms are coming. And I wasn't gonna plant anything on the end right here, but I think I have enough space just to do like one bush bean. So I'm gonna test it. I may end up saying, oh, why'd you do that? But for now, just gonna plop her down there. Most of the varieties that I just planted are the ones that are already in this bed, because those were the only varieties I have. And I really, really like these. Like I said, they don't produce as much, but for my family, they're really fun just to come out here and pick and then take inside and eat. A lot of these I keep kind of forgetting about too. I'm letting them go a bit longer than they probably should. Check that out though. So pretty. I had more room in this bed too than I realized. So when I had first sown this bed, I didn't plant a lot because I honestly just didn't know like how bushy they were gonna get and how big they were gonna get. And I realized I had quite a bit of space that I could fill in. So I did, and even now I'm realizing that I still have quite a bit more space. So I just went back in and I sowed about 4 beans. And the beauty of that is when these start petering out, the other ones will start producing again. I am a huge fan of succession sowing. It just makes a lot of sense, and then you're able to get the most out of everything. Oh my gosh, there are so many of these. I think these are the Tanya's Dragon Tongue is what I believe that the pink variety is. It was certainly not my intention to come out here and harvest. But here we are, as always. I'm never prepared with the appropriate baskets to come to the garden. I often wonder like how many times a day do I warm up my coffee, because right now it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I've warmed up my same cup of coffee 4 times already because I get distracted with all my chores. Oh gosh, anyways, I'm just putting all these beans. We keep them in these bags and they do really well. And we go back out again. Also, I'm one of those that I cannot complain to my kids in or out, because I am in and out of our house so many times a day, and sometimes Charlie will be like, Mom, in or out? I get asked a lot if I'm a wing it or scheduled type of girl. And I'm totally a wing it person. That is just like that's my personality. I do better when I know the things I need to get done. So like last night, I knew I needed to transplant up these tomatoes. I knew I needed to plant beans. I knew I needed to rip up Brussels sprouts. Like I had in my head things that I knew I needed to get done. But if I were like, okay, I need this done by this time and this done by this time, I farm with my kids. So you can't really go by a structure. I have to kind of go with the ebb and flow of life, and like your plans don't always go the way you want them to. And I found for me that I get less aggravated if I know the things I need to do in a day, but I don't set a time limit on that. And I'm just like, okay, I know that since, you know, it's the summertime, I farm with my kids, this isn't going to go the way I planned it. But if by the end of the day I can get the things done that I had intended to get done for that day, I feel much better than if I were to give myself a timeline and I didn't make that timeline. Here, will you fill these up with dirt for me? This is all the dirt that you need, okay?
Okay, and Linky, where should I get you?
I don't know.
This paper in the middle of the ladder.
So my friend started all of these tomatoes for me. And as you can see, they're getting a bit leggy. They need to be transplanted out. These are the tomatoes that are gonna go in the tunnel. So I have got a lot of work. It's not a ton. And what I'm gonna do, since they are like really kind of, you can see all the roots, I'm just going to put them like this when I transplant them. That way all of this has, or when I up pot them, that way all of this just has rooms to develop some roots. Oh, thank you, Charlie. She's helping me. Say hey.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Just filling these tubs of dirt.
Yeah, I got the best helpers, y'all. Hey, can we just put maybe not as much, okay? So mommy only needs about that much soil, okay? So don't fill it to the top. Now you can go back through and fill the top up, okay? This is actually one of those like mundane tasks that I really don't mind. I actually really enjoy whenever the kids find something that they like helping me with. If I'm being honest, it's not often that they're like, oh, hey mom, I want to help you harvest beans. Peyton is probably more prone to want to help me with like the harvesting part. Charlie over here really likes to get her hands dirty, so anytime that she's willing to help me like fill dirt or up pot tomatoes, I just really cherish those times, and I really encourage her to help me in whatever way that looks like. And if it's just for a few minutes, then I'm like, okay, come hang out with me for a few minutes. If it's all day, then it's all day. So I don't know, I really do cherish moments like this where she's like willing to be like, hey mom, what can I help you with? Get in here.
Okay.
Here, you got to put the entire root down, okay?
Okay.
There you go. Good job, Char. Oh my gosh, the sweat is rolling, y'all. Okay, I have got quite a few more of these that I need to up pot. I also have lunch that I need to make for the kiddos, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to warm that coffee up for a 5th time. But I'm going to get busy on these things. Thank you guys so much for just hanging out with me and doing my chores with me. It's really nice just to get to show you guys the day-to-day life. I know a lot of times I get asked, like, what does your day look like? And honestly, it's a lot like this. It's a lot of going with the flow, adjusting and adapting as needed, and just making sure you get all the chores done that you need to get done. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon.